I'm running for but the microphone is still down. Pigeon kakra. Fantastic. Now, afi, you remain so many preliminary comments and son afi yaba your main issues this one.
Nidi came Mincha, a chief for you, and I'm chair the Republic of Gamaga for you.
Sure.
Now, Mincha, your senior VMate be. Let say you didn't come on Facebook, but
okay.
Minini Shadanshire,
okay.
VMate Makisko Ofosu. Is one of our seniors.
Oh, okay.
And your car VMate. They are the true VMates. Wherever they find a VMate, they appear. And the senior, where they Medawasi. And we two Fubi. And different from the new copy. Is it a new copy or the content is new? I be because then they say I can't.
When you updated one, the same green book.
They are not pictures, woman.
And I said,
no, me bisa.
Of course, it's new sometimes very diabolical.
Una watch it. Me see they not pictures woman and be. What is it? Maybe this is a abridged version. But
the question is, why did you bring it today? Why today of all? But what Baha?
And also mean
more than 50 times. One for a green book, man.
And then we do.
Anyway, Maminda Obibiara officer, you know, we can be good representatives in the House of Parliament. The mere fact that person actually recognizes that you can have some utility to the work of Parliament, you know, is humbling enough. And sometimes sometimes, you know, we yansu yetiminya wrong.
Sure.
And I'm excited. There are friends that sometimes when they feel you've gone, you know, out of range, they reach out to you as we see away dear me no maybe you can see. I mean, Nina Ebwa. Nti do be a OTA Jumedia or OTA and Jumedia. Any the kinds of contributions are no. Me I always say some of these platforms. It's not just an opportunity to express views. It's also a huge opportunity to learn. There are times I'm telling you, because Yomuti and Omonim the change. You know, a lot of the time they remind us and they guide us. And Yadobia said, Omukahuna Jumadie no Ekonin. Yadomunasi.
But who decides in France or contest as a member of parliament? Or constituency Gamba is Gambaga a constituency? What's the name of the constituency?
It's Gambaga Nalerugu.
Gambaga Nalerugu constituency.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the MP now?
Papa be a friend Alaji Baba.
Or NDC and MPP?
Or NDC.
Alaji Baba.
Yeah, he unseated Ajia Alima.
On city. On the Ajia Alima your constituency.
She used to be my MP.
Your
actually.
MP. Oh, okay.
She used to be my MP, yeah.
Okay. That's
oh,
nice.
It's an interesting constituency. And Yami Aduma, once VMates supports a young
no.
You know, the rest of colonies, you know, would want to protest. But wherever you find a VMate, you'll be a baby. I sort to know, because we always provide leadership. You know, we set the pace. We show leadership in everywhere we find ourselves. Oh yes. And Chenyame Aduma, there will be a VMate to lead that republic. Another constituency.
It's very important.
Very.
It's very important.
Now, Mami Fawe and Mami, you went through hotel. Then we'll come to the main issues. Okay, and share the issues about overstayed CEOs and other public servants. My research has shown that this is becoming pervasive.
Like
recycling of retirees. It's unacceptable.
Suppose retirees are
no retirees are not supposed. Almost the 60 almost came. Contracts, but once they now we the normal GR fund the normal
contract. Okay.
No new one yamani.
Oh no, after staying on for 1 year without contract, no. Say I be as the new commissioner general, which means a new contract now.
Are you presuming and I said the man and pamper? Because
I am assuming because we know who
exactly. Telling me question is that your money be and when
I'm retroactive way. Because I know the doing who baby. Local government service.
Local government service is Atwatha, not Atwatha.
Well, retirement or 30 year after retirement.
In the 63 years?
Yes.
But he has a contract?
I suppose so. This is the third time I renew the contract. And it's about the third time. Me, I don't see why we keep recycling retirees. We keep saying, how do you do that when you keep recycling retirees? Sebi, he's had some wealth of experience. But that's all about it. It's not as if he grew... Right? No, he's an engineer.
No, he's an engineer.
Okay.
Engineer and a PhD holder.
Okay. What is it? I think, sir, it's about time we gave Mebunu the opportunity. I'm not saying, sir, discard the experience of the old. But oyena femu diene odurwa mano kwano onko munja no kwano onko vie. So you can allow as many people as possible to also rise to that height. But to keep recycling retirees and there are so many more of such. Look, there are career local service personnel and our public servants or more local service in the moon. Some of them ABA or Kofi and they would have also risen to that to say apex, But one man now you keep renewing and giving him extra contract and so on. When indeed he should be at home having a good rest. As some who should have risen to the apex, they don't get the opportunity, and it's discouraging to career public servants. What is here? I'm not saying that when somebody has a great deal of experience, officer way or Kofi, maybe was shabby BSc on year, and you feel that your man 1 year, 2 years, or bet me the years our project no come. But Obia Sabi, there's nothing really at stake. Near and say is a political appointee, and young Kofi the also and says Kofi.
But is there a nexus between
performance and overstay?
Performance, any age and experience, no nexus be.
No, as for
for example, is there data to show say CEOs no more relatively young, no, omonya some good performer. For example, public service you can talk NLA with a very young person, Samir Uku as Director General, the current ECGMD in his 40s.
I'm yet to see. I have not researched. I have not found any empirical study.
Mustafa Hamid.
No, Mustafa
Obedi 50.
He's in his 50s. Yeah.
No,
he's really. They're in that category.
And we just have to establish.
I think, sir, in Ghana, I'm sure there should be studies empirically to establish that relationship. But I really haven't bothered to look for that age and then output in public office. Maybe there are studies. If there aren't, that's a good research question for somebody. Or maybe when I'm free, I can explore what you say. But Usha, beyond the relationship between age and output as a public servant, near me can say, first, you are discouraging career public servants.
Sure.
Also, these people are top CEOs, mostly they are political appointees.
Yeah, they are.
What is here? And you give the impression, say,
also be a politics.
And Sana with me, what is here? And secondly, maybe no more parties in mono. If the old don't go and take a rest, how then do they become CEOs too? Almost say, or maybe in other areas, but at least, Nipano, or this 60 year, the person has served. And a lot of the time, some of these CEOs are almost 60 and beyond. And you say they are career servants in that sector, no. Free baby na their background sometimes are even different than as for what you say. But essence said, as for policy implementation,
he has been in the system.
He was a DCE and MCE.
Nana Tuatha has been
KEA MP. An MC at some point.
Deputy Minister, Central Region, and I think he became Substantive Minister, Central Region.
I think that's how he started. Well, I'm not
know
sure.
He used to be an MP.
I think with local government, as a background,
no, he does.
No, the PhD,
the PhD research is in local.
Exactly. I know he has something in.
Yeah, he does.
But I'm just saying generally, and you be in a background, a year baby and But of course, if you are CEO, usually it's not about your background per se, because yours is to implement policy. You have people, technocrats to help you and the rest of it. But I'm just saying, Nipano do 60 years. Unless be shrunk, SSA, you recycle for a year or two. I mean, we need to let them go home. And as a AI phenomenon under Akufo-Addo administration, to the extent that Democrat to while after time and more contracts, it's just it discourages. It doesn't set good examples for the kind of governance system now. And it discourages hard work. So who said the babu Juma said then ya drew a maza kofa politician be crab best or call time and cry na some extensions this annual and as a sheni because civil service and public they are delicate services are as a sheni.
Okay, and I'm told sir Nana Atwatha was MC for KE.
That's what I
before
know.
He became deputy regional minister.
Yeah,
he became member of parliament. Yeah. And then I think substantive regional minister.
Okay.
At a point.
MP I know, MC I know.
Yeah, he was MP.
Yeah, he
was MP. I think he won after Dr. Papa Kwesindum. He won for them.
And some
no.
Summertime was number 2. No.
Summertime was number 2.
Or no, okay.
But before Papa Kwesindum, Dr. Annan. No, Dr. Annan of the NDC came. And Nana Atwata.
We are talking about after.
No, after Indum.
After Indum, he came Atwata. 2008. He was. He had returned.
After Indum was who?
Dr. Annan.
And not.
Dr. Annan became education minister, deputy, under Mills. Mills' first term. Now, but you know what about you say white. He won.
Yeah, okay.
He won from Indum. And Nana Atwata be 2. No. And Samatame also be 2.
Oh, so he was deputy to Alex Tetenyo, right?
Alex Tetenyo. Alex Tetenyo, yes. Okay. No. Now, lawyer, I better saying.
Obi nyame hwe. Egusu akra bende. Sembi aboko de.
Abdumia
fresh ndi egusu yakwa ba nyina ye. Egusu yakwa sa. Manfo keka.
Lawyer Chumberema.
Manfo keka.
No, we brutal.
We brutal nezo kana manfo bejo muti. Okay, I'm for well, I think in Congo I know the young. Me I share with him in a way, sir. And yes, I am running can say your age be a compulsory retirement. And you mean the account that's an American. The one doing your do yes, compulsory as a open just already. Would do so?
Yes.
Now, I do a reason can say, oh, okay, but the television not a be back community being tino. You be my quam what no can no so cry no. I'm running here and a buy no journal said there be. Oh, man, yes, and it's going to be a transaction to get me the cap. Now, I'm going to muda. Tenants to get in few number account. In few nuzukan as I can in few nuzukan. And in few numbers in few numbers. Yes. Yet, Mamba, I can't hear my baby on Crada. Nabacco, so I could feel, and Nana can was anchor. You tell me, Nami Sana can win.
Yes.
Yet, Mammy, never once I can. I mean, it depends. And there won't be more. Woman, 2-1 without any 2-2 or whatever. And that the only won't come baby or a cotton fee.
Yes.
But I was a mechanic, my son will begin and say, Nina Chin, and a bang way by, and also you won't say. For a reason best known to them, almost okay. As I do, as I was on the enemy. No one got to myself and to one just tension to grab you. That is a beer, a cognac, and I said, the beer. Ye no bia enti ene na say tran as a matter and no sa exception there e bia be cause na mo tran but do no na e better na be kan obi enya de nsi na mu no pen edene enya de edene sabi nana atoata ye nsa na de nanso no minyi ni say sabi tafra chi say ne ono akwa say wagya aduma no mpo no nya bi mu a ye nyina se na mu wo the frustration ni kwato nchen ye fa so no akwa desire say me kwa aduma na bi kwa me ni system but me kwa magya me nya bi like some of us said you desire somebody ye nya bi mu so obi ato aso all people are still there working
Dr.
so what I say so and no come up to now he's still not even 60
he's not close to 60
so what I say he's not even still 60 and you know it could have been so, but say a band of sounds was you been your name so only me three.
But somebody says, Obi, apart from Dr. Callistos, the local government service has always been using retirees.
And yet you see,
no, it's not so. How does the person mean?
Oh, into
anybody be every one is still extent.
Now, only 60, no. I say almost all the other bosses have a head hono. Over now with this 60 near man a contract where they
and one you go say can say we understand one Obi. The mean the me say we see the do no akwan. Because I today in year through. And I will go do so what's a woman call Indian. And the end here do it by the so automatically we are all going to I'm told your line as in being behind you.
Yeah.
So what I say, yet in Gwen, yes, I intimate. because employment ladder no such a way that you cannot drop, rather you climb. It's position and me precommend like said here on the profile once an MC or deputy minister at some point as you were saying and now MP grand post at some point do any now so was minister and deputy nimpo who for deputy now for minister won't even think of from you obi bia na lady bia is it Dakwa Newman or something?
Dakwa Newman.
Good. This lady is very lucky because what it means is that you are not buying a position people not some back. What do you mean deputy minister? Almost have an appointment as some minister. But one more deputies no. Sunday.
I see you.
Oh no, I need
CEO is different.
CEO is different. American there.
CEO they be at the crossing.
Oh, of course. I know there. When Mustafa Ahmed was a minister and is now a CEO.
Not necessarily.
No.
Yes, share structure there.
So I can say and the CEO no share as a minister, but I can assure you say
subordinate.
Oh,
no,
no,
sector, not
positions.
No, all sectors are equal.
And why they say all conditions of service.
If you are they generate money by themselves.
Oh, of course, and most of them. Yes, most of them. I mean, the likes of the GPHAs, the MPs, the GMPC, they generate money for themselves.
Or conditions of service are better saying.
Absolutely, send the money attractive.
Yeah. You say we a CEO of a state agency now 70,000 Ghana cedis a month.
Yeah.
And
that is who salary.
Yeah, 70,000 Ghana cedis.
Exactly. 700 million. But these are
who go to choir travel allowance per
year.
BG more than that.
Oh, so
of course.
70,000 year average. Average in the CEO. Yeah, because again, most of them are not paid through the consolidated fund. They don't come under.
Ken Fraser wanted to do something, but I'm saying Ken wanted to bring them down because he was trying. At some point, he agreed. I didn't say woman I pay even the president. But I think he wanted to try something, but I'm because so also you know I could deep with idea and you make a say because the number one person who did no now no appointment no.
Is 7?
No, they are all servants.
No, but
they are all servants.
The president doesn't
and number one person no otia kunyam so won't mean fan court.
That's the point.
CEO no ha no betime CEO.
I'm an alcohol.
No so one transfer bond said you be free so no
but
it means it's
free so first 3 years ni twem
no
send me na but the crowd has about
appointment about some more.
Oh, general
conversation. There's every day be
what's the one
appointment
what's
saying how you become
I said a retirement so
no yet na waka my media mami
you will be
oh
so and copy and the
be coffee and
no, but I mean so one thing the danger for me when you've gone through the Public Services Commission, you are employed in some of these parastatals. Because depending on which government is in power, you would have most likely an outsider coming to head that institution. In a career progression for more and more inside.
Another problem.
You cannot dream big. No, if you are in there, Mako says SNIT. Now, me dream, they say, I want to become Director General of SNIT. It's almost non-existent.
No, you're
but only
director. You can't become director.
But we on say and on square working. You mean saying? So no dey. And no dey. Empo even say be as our group na wo ma ye be farm. Even say be na mo 10. And at 10 say be na go pod mu nyina mo nkwa che mu nyina mo tiase to a point that mu nyina mo to be do the level of directors.
Not all of you can be directors general.
What even say mu nyina go be do directors. Automatically ba go pe.
Never director.
No, but what I'm saying is for somebody pattern for you. It's likely say by the time we be directors for the whole period, I'm more direct their current time because at every point that there's a political appointee who will come as DG, and that's the point I'm making.
Yeah, I agree. It's the same with foreign service.
Yes.
I am totally against this idea of having politicians as diplomats.
Career diplomats.
Some of them.
No, career
As even
diplomats.
the-
Yes,
yeah,
you
put it
leave the
somewhere,
career
yeah.
majority of them.
Oh,
You leave career diplomats, and then you go and pick politicians to become
As
diplomats.
diplomats.
To become ambassadors.
I think and so career diplomats, in fact, be brave ambassadors.
Some, not all of them.
Miss be brave. What happens is, there were certain countries, and they mostly no, are political appointees.
Many of Burkina,
So United
a political
States,
appointee.
the president has the discretion.
I'm not disputing that. Near me can say.
Yeah.
And this started with President Akufo. We used not to have politicians becoming ambassadors. President Akufo na dibaye. What is here? And career diplomats, they are trained. We have FSOA. The kind of training they go through, no, they get posted, they learn experiences.
Oh yeah, that one is true.
So that you and your ultimate, if you are an FSO, ultimate dream is to be
I
ambassador.
think having been in that role, I am telling you, say career diplomat in Nyebi Kra.
Minka so munye
And I make sure say, go and check the
I'm not
record.
saying munye.
Okay, this is data now.
I'm not saying
data now,
but I'm saying
which of them is in the majority?
So-
Is them
career
politicians?
diplomats and
No.
politicians.
Yeah, well,
no?
I think you're about
okay, let me get the detail for
80
you.
missions or so. I have to check there now.
Around the world.
Around the world.
Yes.
Yeah, and check it, you know.
So Germany is political.
Yeah,
For instance, Germany political.
Canada,
America, Canada.
even Burkina.
Even, for example, Japan was political. But then, Mimi free or Nipa, then they call Madame Genevieve Palu or a career.
Career
Typically,
diplomat. But
it would
China
have been-
is political.
Yeah, so I'm
South
saying-
African poll is political. I'm
Yes,
saying,
South Africa
sir,
is political, yeah.
I'm not saying not all. I'm not saying all of them are politicians, but majority are politicians.
No,
politicians.
we can check the data on that.
Then
we'll
the
check-
can you
we'll
crown
check the
those
data.
that we are even
Who
mentioning.
can about 10 now? Does that mean we cover
me,
everything?
but tell me, apart from the Oka, say, I know Ethiopia.
Can extempore. We can
Ambassador
look
to
at the
Ethiopia, and it's
data.
because of AUNT no career diplomat. No. Apart from
Ambassador to what's it?
Ethiopia, mission in Ethiopia,
Yeah.
because of AUNT, you need a career diplomat.
diplomat to
What
be
I
there.
say. Apart from any, I will see Japan.
Yeah,
Now, said your
I know
war-
Angola too.
That was about 3 years.
I know
ago.
Angola. I don't know if she's been recalled, but the woman in Angola too
Yeah.
is a career diplomat. But you can.
I think
Okay,
there
can-
are several
Kofi,
career
Cameron
diplomats.
into
But which of them are in the majority?
Ati- Mama say,
Ati,
lawyer,
you cannot-
bro, say kakra.
You cannot introduce a
Uh-huh.
topic.
Oh no, is that what you're doing?
Come this way a bit.
Research.
And I am telling you because I've seen me with the messenger. I'll get the detail and I'll share
I'll
it
make
with
sure,
you.
sir.
Majority of them are politicians.
But my point is, what is wrong if majority are politicians?
Because when you say diplomacy is a specialized area. What I say, they train even how you eat.
Yes.
You are trained. Yeah, we have run diplomatic etiquette. How you to even eat? Oh, I mean, I've had the chance of doing something at Leicester.
Yes.
I did a master's in Leicester. Look, how you even eat, you are trained. What must say? How you negotiate? It requires specialized skills that you train you to do.
Yeah.
What must say?
Yes.
And that is why Ubeka in South Africa there was some issue. Ambassador can say, "Oka and Zambia and Anka and say Oka."
They don't war Ashanti region.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if you had the FSOs,
or filling station.
look, if you've had an engagement with diplomats, there are times move go through your example lift. Ombe jina ma lift na kwa basa because who is senior who when they say oma we must say it's a different area.
But the other thing, so they say, if you also look at granted, say, we are politicians, but the quality of the people who are appointed as ambassadors, would you also?
We are talking about this idea of discouraging people.
No, I agree.
blocking
I agree. But the
chances.
American say,
No,
if you look at the major diplomatic countries around the world, into over US of A, the ambassador there now, Hajia Alima, Oko UK, Papo Uswankoma, Canada, Ayikwe Otu,
Yeah.
until recently.
Now, I don't know who is there, but
Oko Germany, Gina Blay, Oko France.
Just you are mentioning the names.
Oko France, former Shraj, Mami,
Bossman.
Anna Bossman, they were France.
oh, okay.
She
These
used
are,
to be, well, she wasn't
Yes,
a politician.
yes.
It used to be Mrs. Swanika
but
before then.
these are seasoned politicians who can fit the bill, and they fit it well. And
You see, it's just like telling me, sir, because I'm a politician,
yes,
I can become you can say an advisor on petroleum. Because I was seasoned politician, and you be the same, and you be the minimum.
Okay.
And you see, like I'm saying, there are some areas that require specialized training. When you look, and when you go to these multilateral meetings, for example, let's say WTO, there are times you go and you don't even find the Ghanaian delegation. The reason is that Nipana yedini kono, or no sebi. And in the area, and Shaddam fan who's and the expertise to even do it to a problem. What you must say?
I think
mostly for WTO, they thought you'll be required. The person should be.
Mostly the heads of delegations are politicians. So. As a okay, mostly your delegations are led by your trade minister.
Okay,
and things like that.
Kofi.
Look, career diplomats. A Juma Sonko and the Boa mine. They sacrifice their time, their lives, etc. Usually, about 4 postings to 4 different continents. Oko Noaba.
Yes.
Say, we drew A1. Namibia Adom, we are director Kakra, space Betoa, Yayo ambassador. So what I say. From me, Kakra, Mimi Huyano. At least the time I was there, the engagement, several of them are.
Ajebe was not a career diplomat.
He was a politician.
Ajebe was a diplomat under Kufo made him an ambassador, but he was a politician.
But he wasn't a career diplomat.
No, a career diplomat. Okay.
He was not
a career diplomat.
I don't know what US no.
Yeah, he was not a career. He just happened.
Politician.
Why ambassador twice to different countries.
That doesn't
no
make him a career diplomat.
Career diplomat.
Yeah.
Sanity. Yawo mpanyufo bebre omo ye diplomat kra bia wonu say bompata hen say career diplomat.
Oh sir.
Yes.
Dia escape me kakra.
Bompata.
Oh okay.
Bompata hen. Yeah. So the point is there are excellent career diplomats Matapobi several of them are Akufo-Addo hankasa appointed bebre across the world.
Nobody is
we just need the data.
Yes,
get the data, but I'm saying, I'm not saying all of them.
The
What
point that I'm making is that from what I know,
Yes.
Obi, there are certain places you need certain people
to be
there. And you be
Can I ask
but
you a question?
there are certain places depending on what direction our person will call. And then near maybe our person will achieve no. There are certain people you want to be at certain places. The world over. They all do it. Go and check. Even Barack Obama, some of the people he appointed. And the point is, you're making sure say one more or more sacrificing their whole career for diplomacy. No? A good chunk of them will be rewarded for their excellent work. No doubt about it.
What are only missions in America? A quick question. Other countries, say UK and America, do they send careers?
Almost send a career diplomats in
No,
I just told you.
Some of them
example,
are politicians. Okay.
Some of them are politicians.
Some of them are
they don't
politicians.
send.
Okay.
It's just a few.
Jamaica say even for
But
us,
few is relative.
No, you see, you can mention them. Obama an appointment. Even Biden has one of he was very involved in their campaigns. He's an ambassador to I think is it Israel or something like that. They have few, but Omuno, you can count them. There has never been a time. Ghana is a strategic partner of the US. Almost any politician by Ghana had that. No, I'm coming. Because I'm
career diplomat.
all of them.
Oh, okay.
Majority of them. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I've asked this question before to the embassy. We were having some engagements. And I'm do they also send out politicians as
diplomats?
It is when the president decides 1 or 2 places where I need to send Asumesi because of the expertise of. No, it is one of it's not the norm. What is it?
Say ABI in their system, no, to say Israel Israel's relevance and
America.
importance to America is a big deal.
Yeah.
In the only American president would want somebody and not just a career diplomat to go there. In much the same vein, maybe in Ghana, no.
Maybe Burkina. I'm coming. Let me just cite your example.
Yes.
Burkina. Ambassador or a politician.
I think.
Oh, maybe
maybe. You see, sometimes
discretionary.
That's not Burkina.
He's talking about relevance of the country.
Burkina so in toast.
Obi. Me am a arena. I think you
me too.
Share Obi.
Asama lobby to become ambassador.
Asama, what Ghana is to America is not what America is to Ghana. Don't get it twisted.
Yes.
Don't ever get it twisted. The fact say you want reciprocity no nkyerɛ say the way American government be send the ambassador abano that same weight and a Ghana aban be gyina so send the ambassador.
Or the kind of person or
exactly.
Yeah.
Sir, America aban send the ambassador aba. Aha. Maybe or send the ambassador ako UK and China.
You're never going to mood do change.
I won't even use the word mood.
In a way.
But the point is, I just want to be very diplomatic. So,
but I am also thinking, say, and said Kofi Wukano, a lot of the points you've made now are true. Where I think maybe the microphones are like the American say. Can we then agree? Because countries are in the Committee of Nations, normally very strategic for every other country.
Yes.
Into US,
America, UK,
Germany,
France,
China.
The G7 countries.
Almost all, even all
Australia,
the G14 countries. Maybe all the South Africa, in Africa, no?
South Africa
is strategic.
Nigeria
South
is
Africa account. Nigeria.
Yeah, wait, because Nigeria they are because of the oil. They are
strategic.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it just our strategic countries here. I think for the rest, we can make do with the career diploma.
But we don't.
Yeah, that's why I agree with you. That's why I agree with you.
Because he was talking about A1. A1 is the highest in foreign service.
Yes.
But because politicians take up ambassadorial positions, now ambassadorship now can and you have so many directors. A1.
Okay, I'm told say
at what age do they retire?
You say you're a civil servant. So
I'm told say the ambassador Michael Kwe Jr. Say or some
input. All right.
Input.
That's fine.
Making
Your
Excellency, Akwabana upon to saying.
Oh, me patrol be fine. I mean, Chia was studio, especially me attic.
Ojo sopa. Me patrol my entire input and also the my
Now me person me the clear say it is not true say America and UK usually appoint career diplomats. When I was ambassador or high commissioner in India, the American ambassador Neil and the British High Commissioner Dominic were all political appointees. In fact, if you notice one thing, and one of you hit the nail on the head when you said, sir, when the country is of utmost importance to the government in power, they usually appoint somebody who's close to the president so that the relationship can even go further. And President Trump, his UK ambassador, was a political appointee, and so on and so forth. But Ghana, their career, it doesn't change anything at all. I dare say Ghana is as strategically important to America as the United Kingdom. Now, there's a second point, say, some career diplomats. It's not always the case. So, to say, Obitisi Ambassador of Agriolines, he was our ambassador in UK at one point. And we have, in fact, if you look at the embassies, we have a lot of career diplomats at the moment. There are so many of them. In fact, when I was ambassador and we did a regional meeting of all the Asian countries, about 8 of them, it was only myself and Edward Boateng of China who were political appointees.
Oh, okay.
But of course, the political appointees are the most well-known. They are the most exposed, or the ones that the media is familiar with. So sometimes it may create that impression. But nevertheless, no, the Pesareka says it's not the case. You know, with India, for example, our relationship with them is so crucial that when the president was appointing me, he made one particular observation. Or say, I have appointed you ambassador. I was looking at 2 countries, Brazil, India. But I will take you to India because, one, you are a corporate lawyer and India is a business desk. But most importantly, you've had family history in India before. And Indians like family continuity. Remember, this man is a former foreign affairs minister.
Yes.
And my brother, I paid off because the very day I landed in India, all antecedent friends of Ghana showed up. And it allowed us to build our fortunes of investment from about 1.7 billion to 4.3 billion in 3 years, a record that was reported to the foreign minister. Now, why and how was I able to achieve this? Because of my relationship with the president. And being a politician, when I bring my things to Ghana, I'm able to shuffle it faster without indirect ways. One of the things that we managed to work for Ghana, and I'll go into those details later, I was supposed to have gone through the foreign minister in India, especially if I was a career. I told the people that as far as I'm concerned, the commerce minister is a contemporary. Why do I need that? And I went to visit him without going through the protocol. I used to go to the deputy foreign minister's house to get things done for Ghana. A career diplomat will not be able to break some of those protocols to do what is beneficial for Ghana. So I just want to say, sir, the pros and the cons are very, very many. And trust me, it is one of the reasons why, in fact, the diplomatic service allows presidents to appoint political appointees because the country itself wants certain access. These are some of the issues that are up for consideration.
Yeah.
For lack of time, the major
yeah, I think it's been fantastic. Yeah, that's Papa for the input. Why?
No worries.
Yeah, that's
Why?
Yeah,
have a nice day.
Same to you. And the lawyer Michael Okwe Jr., or a CEO of the Free Zones Authority, parliamentary candidate Dome Kwabenya for the NPP, former High Commissioner of Ghana to India. Yes.
Makase, Sebiwotumia. Certain countries, ambassador, mayor, more shadow cabinet ministers. To say America and certain countries because of the strategic role they play. I think. But I'm telling you that based on what I know and the experience and what I saw, certain they should be because of I think.
No, make a point.
Debate. I can't debate every issue on air, but I am telling you, ambassador, example of some of a because of baby or free band in the background into a team. To the be a near me beer, a seni paneyan. So when you mutra, you can't get it done. Can't. I
think the consensus around this table, and it's for countries strategic to our country in terms of country chrono status or more might in world geopolitical affairs. We can agree that Charlie was a president in a trusted person, and we've mentioned them, but we should also agree that for some of the countries,
oh, of course, there are no two ways about it.
For some of the countries, Burkina Faso, Togo,
now, no one has Burkina
Obi, even Burkina Faso, looking at the geopolitics now
in the sub-region,
only Mali
you need a politician there.
Oh no. I'm just
you need a trusted person.
It has to be somebody who's a trusted person.
Who told you can't have a diplomat to trust? No, let me tell you. The woman can look. Anyway, my emphasis.
Well, yes, I didn't clarity into
former diplomat be or Marco retirement.
I think Dike was saying Ambassador Dike was saying
no, he was he was the resident ambassador when I was at Lesia. He's solid civil servant,
very intelligent,
super intelligent.
Any the ayeda, any baby at Tintin
can be
what I say, 18 no man penny,
but Kofi Ameyao also survey in our mission in New York.
Yeah, Kofi
says Luto.
No. Kofi, where another young guy?
Kofi Ameyao.
No, it's true, but
I say, Atik's assertion that Kufuor started with political appointees in the foreign missions is not entirely true. In 1994, Kofi-Addo was politically appointed as the permanent representative to the UN. There is an acceptable convention of 50-50 FSOs and politicians. Obi, apart from permanent missions that really require a seasoned career diplomat, any other mission does not really need a diplomat as the head of mission or ambassador.
Not really need.
Yeah. So Obi, or say the actual work of sending states is done by the consul generals, and every mission has one. In fact, the UN being the headquarters of multilateralism and diplomacy, the US appointed Nikki Haley, who was the governor of North Carolina and currently an RNC candidate for presidency, as the permanent representative to the UN.
It's different. You see, we have missions, and we have, like he was saying, we have permanent missions and so on. UN, and then going to Geneva and this and usually you don't. These are most of the time. It requires uncrophobia sabi. They have NIMD in certain areas.
Sure.
Obia very good in trade. We didn't call WTO as your representative. Different.
Yeah.
But me can't like your missions permanent ones now. Day to day. What you say? That's what I'm talking about. But as for UN, as well, Nansen cry, maybe UN representative, or Obama.
Anyone Pobi on
Martha Pobi a free home. Martha Pobi
has
gone to a different place now.
Okay.
But leader or one of the African countries. No, one of the multilateral institutions.
And I believe in Koma,
but she was the ambassador to the UN for
career diplomat at 80 and any budget. Foreign missions. Or more baby or more time than any budget. But I think it's true.
A lot of them
are in there. We will just have to fish for the data.
No, it would be nice to have a conversation with them.
The topmost position, political, the struggle becomes too much. We say, yeah, like I only say, oh, me do when my and me director general,
then your career partner,
but the woman number pin baby, Nachuma decided to say, Midama Kofi, and I said, Midama yeah, no problem. Sometimes you could some for Obia, and the issues
partisanship among civil servants
and mafia and
some about 2 articles. Now, some queen, but not for
at that point, you have to be politically correct. Political correctness.
And book women
unwritten code.
Because we okay. They have discussion on the way how we do into when crop for bar. It's easy to say obey ambassador. And
all the top
career diplomat.
It's true. It's true. And then Obi, and man do one topmost people. Obia ya be do top one or support political party. Emma or
one line. I was starting to cranka we actually nurturing the party.
And they start selling information.
Exactly. All from security to non-security.
I said the solution to that, is either we take that bold decision, say, two things.
Identify strategic countries and say we move there.
Oh no,
Make sure the general conversation say then we decide as a country say for such parastatals appointment to become director general should not be done by the president. And they are one.
Okay.
If it will be done by the president and so on, then maybe an outsider should not be brought to come and head the institution.
But you should pick somebody from inside.
You should pick somebody from inside.
Corporate entities, private corporate entities. And yet all the time, and you pick it CEO from within.
That's true. That's true. Then the best approach will be take the presidency out.
Not necessarily.
No, because maybe they say, if the country get to a point, no, but can't we get to a point? We strengthen the Public Services Commission. We advertise such positions. Let every Ghanaian anywhere, what the competence apply, come through an interview. Public Services Commission. If you feel so, almost set up, see an stronger. Let's build it up. Interview no more appointing to be boss.
There were limitations, and let me tell you. Unim say public service space.
Yes.
The obi ukomwa.
Yes.
Irrespective of our experience our own. You never go start from
PhD you start from you.
Yes.
Until we no mind first we nya also ne dey. Say wako suku akwaji bi a PhD enya all professional experience no. You do kwa. Their process no. You do go
long service.
Yes. From A5
you're supposed to go,
and son was sorry be A1.
That's you are
so let's not sit here and create the impression say your system now you want your sacrosanct be now. No, there are challenges with it. Challenges with denying people who qualify to do the job no space to come in.
And no what's on here can you?
No, but I'm saying that see a solve a problem now.
Civil service
let's solve it holistically. It is all cultural be say wow woman na you. No, where would the innovation come from?
No, I've gone away from that initial proposal.
No, it's saying that I can
level now. Director say
my
head of civil service, head of local service, for example.
Police service
promoted to become head of the service.
Police service, for instance.
Yeah.
Normally, IGP is supposed to be appointed from the commissioners.
From the COPs.
Amongst the COPs.
Inti yebeka commissioners wo asat ne. Ebi aban fra ba opposite IGP. To hwe commissioners na wo no mumba akuno be yin as IGP. That part that he was lucky. So as at the time I everybody as IGP no. Now he was a senior most commissioner.
Yes.
It's now so we my technical because we as do so and dey no. But can e betimi so san ho akoma obi anka
a young commissioner.
And the issue ni ba no.
And they had the issues.
How that issue was me me say bia Kofi am senior. Na Kofi na kadna do so obi an say adna be Kofi ho. Na a son ho na about do. Then sabotage was starting.
No, me to say those challenges. When I make sure say your other challenges in so far.
No, that's fair. I know the
let me use myself as an example. Tama, your friend is me head of information. Was because we co-US at a young age, you know, me started a Juman temper at the age of 16, and I'm starting a Juman. It's by the time maybe 30 years, you know, now me were almost 13 years of professional experience. Of 13 years of professional experience, and I decided to say Menko as head of information. I buying this issue, you know, was premised on the fact that when this would be our person will drew home, looking at some policy directives be our person will implement it. It's if we say more than more so any Kobwa. Yeah, let me buy and me go through process. You share me CV FM. Catch them me say, yeah, they all started from form. Now my experiences in me kuta PhD cra me pa me fan koto be the system literally rejected me.
What usually they do is to take you as a consultant and you bet you out differently. But if they are taking you as a away
but I'm saying that
how is I mean it's a concern.
Yes, how do we improve a system where the idea is that it's so big and ni e wonim die bi no de ba. The system rejects the person outright.
But are you guys also saying, say, the proposal, say, if we are looking at to make these parastatals more efficient, the appointing regime, the appointment regime should be looked at.
Of course.
You don't think so?
I
Say, rather than we allowing the president to do those appointments, can we have a system? Say the Public Services Commission would interview qualified applicants to pick one. No.
What they do, they say,
Minka just going to work in there, being the head of the institution.
No, and American. What the even does? Yes, there is no appointment the president does without subject to approval by the Public Services Commission.
Yes,
anybody working in the public sector, Public Services Commission, they say employment, but the president would appoint you.
Sure.
And would say it's subject to the approval.
But mostly they are mere formality. I'm talking proper interview.
Oh, they do. Sometimes
mostly.
Sometimes you have to appear
put our master's degree on how. Trust me, it's not that simple.
No, but do you think that?
But I'm telling you.
No, but are you guys saying that system would be more efficient than opening it up? People applying, doing a proper interview, getting them to come and tell us their vision for the organization. KPIs, we are giving you 5 years, and then we pick one.
But you can still maintain the president's nomination. Process. But maybe say, okay, this I'm opening it up. Then the shortlist. Now I'm paying a share amongst the shortlist. Like they do with DCC. Now I share amongst we maybe there could be another length I can say layer of interviews.
Okay.
Now finally and all these interviews could be done by the Public Services Commission.
But Obi, let's not forget that we vote for a political vision. Okay. When you vote for a political vision, to a degree, it needs political implementation. You cannot just say per corporate governance 100% when you have voted for a political vision 100%. There will be an imbalance.
Also incorporates.
No, but he's talking reality. No, he's talking the reality
the
of
nature
our
of the
system.
civil service.
Obi may have all the qualifications, but Obi MPP ni, and Obi NDC ni. Now NDC abayaba. Now we are the opposite. Now the qualifications are cut now. Obi obeka kire o say wo man panyin na ya to aba ma wo vision na o pese wo achieve no we believe in
civil service. You can't do that.
No, I'm saying that
this is public
we are
service.
talking about shaping how we even elect. I mean, we identify the leader. Yes, and Eka say ye nominate and I am among
qualified people.
Now yes, I we are. Nipa na obey no. How are you sure?
He's not beholden to the president.
The president in vision be aligned.
You see, when they appoint you, because a civil service, there is the nature of civil service and another structure. They have certain qualities, and one of the, in fact, let me mention if you need to be an impartial person as a civil servant.
Yes,
you need to be neutral
on paper.
No, maybe you see, if you are the head of civil, if you are the head of say local government service, for example, you are not there to implement WOW vision.
Anyway, the government.
They hand down a vision for you to implement. You are an implementer. You don't formulate policy. You implement them. You cannot say vision. Who are you? You may say some sabotage can come in, but it's the same way. Who come in?
Sabotage.
Who call civil service? No, apart from the minister, then we might as well just collapse all the ministries.
No, but let's face the reality.
Apart from the minister, everybody else is a civil servant.
Of course,
and they belong to different political parties. Of course. So you cannot say because Obi has a certain political affiliation, necessarily Nippon will sabotage your vision. Because also at the end of the day, our targets to meet. What you must say? And if you keep sabotaging government policies,
Okay, I think we've exhausted this issue.
A certain selection process. What is our selection process in the bar? Yeah, what 10-year clauses are? What the shame?
Sure.
Because we to be for a certain process in now when you loosely say president bet me any time. No, you have to protect that 10-year.
And there are conditions under which
of course, those conditions will be ironclad, so that it cannot be abused.
Yes,
don't be ironclad. So I'm saying that. So you to abama man penny. So on being then this wadi hunu mremua. there was certain key positions and nothing ministers no omo the end is the policy level. They are not the technical people. They are to ensure the vision of the president.
Very well.
His political vision.
Very well.
It is one they careful ube say won fix it be cost 90. That's the point that I'm making.
Me that say inform
as heads of a cry any
there's room
politicians are here you cry any
for more adwenkyerɛ won komo aye di ho ye WhatsApp number no 0548 443 523 0548 443 523. Lawyer Chumberima ma memra wo ho. I think what news are dominating conversation from the latter part of last week into the weekend and the performance tracker. I would want to believe that nothing in the green book number. What is issue really about?
Quickly, Mata Pobi position, Her Excellency Mata Ama Achan Pobi, Assistant Secretary General for Africa.
For UN?
UN Secretary General's appointment.
UN, United Nations Secretary General appointment. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's
true.
She's
Since 2021.
Oh, that's nice.
That's beautiful.
That's true.
But the new UN Secretary General.
No, career diplomat.
Exactly.
That's on here. Onye din crowd.
Guterres, no.
Guterres Ajidi.
I'm telling you, what is happening in
now the woman in Tibia now when he does it.
No, you need
Boutros Ghali wo ho no.
Kofi
Annan.
Are you sure about Guterres? Now Guterres, maybe honor.
No, the situation in Palestine. The guy cannot even get them to pass. I mean, or Bonotruka, even Korea ni
San Bunsen Kano. Kim Bunsano, Banking Moon.
Onukra at least. And now you're telling over there to Casa. Papa Spanish. Yeah, boy.
Lawyer, I'm in 20. Tracker, issue with the tracker.
Well, and let's say be your issues to the tracker.
Okay.
Aban bia better kunyaswa. Sabi o de yen tete akwa de yen for yen nyina yen for yen hu free aye Rollins dey so from 1992 because yen say nyini bia asa into the yen for yen free 1992 mra. If in 1992 bepum na 2024 ina aban aba besin ko nyina no obi aba wodwuma wo ye obi aba yadwuma na so na de obetuma ye we bi eba kwan aban you cannot even mention one government about transfer on my mu ka wanya kwan aban kan ya sem obi aba wo ye bi. Okay, bibi bia be was bia no benyo bi attribute bibi to from 1992 in fact even before them but they yalamiti hu to the American. Okay, obia ba or the oye. And there's a way that you use also to publicize the wadma officer waye. What is it? Any how man phone so no certain memu phone na dit minima won so no beje de wo kana tom say ayampa waya maye.
Sure.
Mama, just an example. Yeah, brand yeah, cocoa roads. Yeah, friend is saying a free apejam kwanta, a tremu or cross anyone when I been saying a sea quad, the bomiche be there. Yes, I go in now. Yeah, yet to work correct. Sabi, Aban say another by ye. Not one say you. But once we be ask for the atoso. That then they say yeah catch my yes I can never can say yeah. And on so be cancel on so yeah. On so you go on so be before be the can the whole year. Sure. But the challenge me kakra masha the last few days no e wo say tracker e hu say eni mani bia wo mobodi ewu mu no. That is why me personally me issues with. Obi said the me hu ani ya correct me hu bit say or say urban construction of speed humps.
Speed ramps.
Exactly.
Speed ramps.
Yeah, but don't use the word humps, which is HUMPS.
Okay.
At selected areas within KEEA municipality.
Okay.
Na Obi. Speed ramps.
I then.
Some said.
I don't know. That's all the government. All the amazing government.
Ah.
Are they?
And the Sunday, and I agree with me. I was yes, I'm going over. Speed ramps. Nema ya obo no modi anti just say wo to atira Ghana for an speed ramp. Are you serious? And then my baby nani ya jamu and you say some go biam flow. I say if I say any me can yan cost free rollers for person. And you be speed ramp no one ya nyina no yan capture nyina. Come on. Obi.
If the district assembly take stock of Nyomo Mode aban sika akwa assembly why na in that district no na omanfo ni sun and say cars speed dodo into omu here speed ramps na assembly na committees card aye na omo ma account of project omaya you think they should not add it
when assembly bia de na yakekabo mu
that's the understanding
that's the understanding
yeah.
Oh okay mati entina speed ramps nyina wo oh sorry me bisa keke say
no baby say kwase na sharing of justice
na nti justice ni nyina no enyina yaban nyumadi a wadi amankrofo ma so bomfa so no ya de nyame ase na de ennimu no so ya body no so
and you know my pan which was 67 be a wrong entries and apart from
that hono kran would remember how but you ready be
okay
so while ukrum takrade
yes
o stadium na wono friend say
Esipon secondary sports stadium Esipon
good almost say a 90% complete
yes I can't I don't know
and
the picture doesn't tell that story
90% complete
stadium
say rehabilitation
renovation works near 90% complete
unim where I find it a bit surprising because in Kenoforia test I think last but one budget statement
that is last but one that's 2020
that should be 2022 or 2021 I think 2022
should be yeah
Kenoforia test yes
that's already budget
because we are last but one last but one so it should be 2020 then it should be 2023 2022 rather
he mentioned
2023 yes
he mentioned it say Esipon rehabilitation is ongoing currently 90% complete and he was fact checked with pictures and yes because this is the state of the stadium it might surprise us why it still finds itself into its way into the track it's a bit surprising
you see so would they back track and so putting him a problem but sira was say was in the can as assembly be a yedjuma and the juma omo ye ho dance die ba Esipon stadium insist a bit of fracture an isolated area assembly bi ase and as association assembly bi wo if this abayin po ama contract fan se bi man won kran ani asoma twum se twum nkonko esa adwuma no wo e wota krade na second day wo no okoye na wo ye adwuma na nti ye report ba se ye duro ha mu ntichemu adu okron na ka ntichemu du pani awie no why na monitor why na supervise why now akwohwe say ambassador man wa yadru say 90 ya bosu ya ampa nti ma ban timi gitum as you are saying e ma finance minister enya kukuduro ka the house of records say baby ya page say dem na aho ne minkan say botrim like in state e dia koduru nie na ya aka just about handful bi na ya wie why na kwa check be kan say ban is it assembly or who? And as far as National Sports Council and that's authority. Woman accord this information by Bayana. Who fed government with that information to a man finance minister can in 2023? Now assign repeating who in 2024. Why? In any case, from 2023 to 2024 is about a year. 2023 budget now can 2022 November. And the bag 2023. It's a new year we have some the affair Chamuko. About the same year, we reporting 90%. First question, no. 2022 as some an hour catcher again. Say, as a banner with parliament, or how much more do you crown ye? You almost done. Yamisha. I fear the same come back and film you. I didn't you go 90% in and shouldn't you have gone far than the 90 as at now? So who is checking what? Are we just sitting somewhere and giving money or giving impression or signing contracts or giving orders? Say, Chum should go and do ABC. And once we say that, anything that Chum come back to tell you is it's factual, it's valid, it's okay. I think in Kosia Children could be Yapon, such no back anything, Yajedi, Yasum. And at the end of the day, as you already indicated, on my seeker, and your dear man, could be some munium for A, B, C, D, E. And I won't buy a walk on taboo. But I couldn't know who and your working. Sadia way. Say, I'm no crown passer buying this camobi. So, on quest argument. And the tibia munia such a bit of ratio. Sabalasuya. Somebody must answer question. Somebody must answer question. Aside the fact that I didn't go several bar by for the chain. But we have spent some money for finance minister to be telling us to say, well, on what years can be. It's not on the body of parliament. If not, maybe you could have heard it from maybe the sports minister or something. But for finance minister to be telling you in parliament, maybe he has authorized some payments to be given to one company or one person to go and do some particular job. Who was checking what? Who was supervising? Over 1 year down the line, we are still reporting the same thing as it were in 2022, 2023. Are we serious as a country? MC, I want to buy MC in the second year.
Yes, so MC Pong should be under STMA. Yes.
So in
yes.
MC. Yeah, by MC. It's MC no. I mean, say 1 year and go asan be asan not on one go so on one senior utie ya ade nhwemu pa na wo ye and say monitoring ben wa ye for that project na yes my 90% no knowing very well that's so the case and was Indiana. But I'm sure you are the rep of government over there and Temposi and found man directly imponwa technically. So was some kind of oversight responsibility on the Ekos or mainstream be able to be a man temu. So would be a dear be and Kabu Guasmana. And now what you been a good piece Kabisa, Yabaka or Sassia Odano, Acacia was near you, and Acacia been near you. Over any Cremus and Pasadana, I say Acacia was near you, and I am Pampas, Sanatiana. Obi, so your mind money and I see a gentleman of mine or mine second idea, did Madia, and you are contemplating Pamra.
Okay.
Number 2, me who yes, I'm saying, Infantifim, yeah, Infantifim. Yes, I'm old students was saying, acquire one more AstroTurf, one more cattle sword 2022, Eco Machine March 2023. And also a woman said, I buy it.
Omoye AstroTurf never in school.
Old boys and acquire my home. Me, you know her. Mammy, and penny briefly, let me cancel. Sorry. Okay. It's bad. Obi.
Yeah, but the question then is, government itself through the information ministry admitted they've identified 67 wrong entries. Why are you still hammering on those wrong entries?
What do you mean by wrong entries?
Now minister,
who gave it? Who first of all brought those entries? One at the back.
Oh, but if you are dealing with 13,000 plus projects, I mean, margin of error.
Hold on. Why in their quality data?
I don't know.
Various assembly. What you say? Assembly be the neighbor. You over 200 district assemblies in this country. In Tiavan so be the neighbor. To be the ban the assembly be no ubia will hand you one note. Into be by and not when you do batoso and then all to us. School yard board the each way. A year in front of him, the army make
FM
and maybe was in front of him Old Boys Association to construct artificial turf for alma mater. This was on where my journal line reporting it on 2022. 1st August 2021. And my journal line reporting. The project was commissioned, reported by Graphic Online, that a year one group from MOBA.
Yes.
Good. MOBA commissions new artificial turf for alma mater. This was on March 2nd, 2022.
Okay.
That is a year or so after. But I buy track and say,
AstroTurf at Infantapim Boys Senior High.
Can I have a look at
that's fine. Okay, I bet you. A day in a buy here, a mass assembly, no. Say, I'm just hoping I be something at the buy. Sat some person something in the brain crying, and as the bank crying. Then I buy Robin, I buy play 3 assembly, one capture a buying project.
Omutiminya adwen crash on back capture we can a buying project on.
Then run and we don't play Robbie anymore. Woman coming in here.
Ebi omo ma asase.
Na school na school. That's one was in change.
So questions dey na yebusa.
What does woman was in change? Yes, in school mu.
Okay.
And fancy people no should them mu that they know how big their land is. Okay, but dia young go na bonti in school no mu and most of that should have been missing. Ya na new land o. And existing park area be na
redevelop
sanity. Entina dia be school ni park be that school be as park. School be organ have be park. Even primary schools will be. I'm at more secondary. Enti e yo mo dia dente ba ne say na aban timi capture say e wo mo project.
Okay.
University of Environment and so many different environment and sustainable development.
Sustainable development, yes.
And so aban project.
Now so we in common with the idea
Say then.
Sir, it was at a point and we be twice.
So are you saying we shouldn't talk about what we have?
So I'm about twice. So I said now I can example our man earlier no. Say a coin be anama ya omo so be asphalt or so no.
Chebidie no.
Omo claim say omo dey amu so be to claim say omo dey. It's the same thing with this. So obi you drew baby no be about twice.
Enti we no continuation project.
Why not a project? Yeah, it's a
continuation project.
Yeah.
Okay. San system.
Just a crew of your project.
Oh, that you be na here. You be na ni okura obi jaba. But obi, I mean to make time na come I mean enye me monitor fa na o maka remember. The tintin je nyina say wo bo woni ma ho develop. And this time ya de ni.
Green book.
Yeah, green book. Yeah,
and there were similar issues in it.
Oh,
at the
similar
time,
issues.
At the time it was
I'm looking at one actually. What kind?
I think so there.
Artistic impression of Tamale Airport.
And that's an achievement. With the book.
Oh,
that's not
no, hold on. I hide it. Asat 20, I think 10 or 11.
A drawing.
I think 2010 or so, or 11, one of the main Kayani. Hold on. We're in here. Oh, baby, and a private terminal.
Terminal
1. Yeah. Now, would you answer first? Now, one the local terminal for the local flights.
Sure.
Would you want not President Mills time? You presti ebo.
Say you be tamale say.
No, yeah, exactly. Say tamale airport near be, and this is how to be at the end.
Okay.
One country say the why. But I was sick on my impression as I didn't know and you don't know that project started under him.
This is more like a performance tracker.
But the book was a
environmentally unsustainable.
Relax. Intimacy. Watch say why so can say idea why and why nesi. And I quit anywhere. Who already right to questioning. But what say me ya no. And indeed
what's the narrative that accompanied this picture? What's the narrative? So, for every project they have a narrative.
Of course,
it will almost say
picture.
No, impression.
Which is under construction.
Artistic impression.
Road safety,
because there's no narrative that I'm so relaxed.
Under civil aviation, it may be a beyond pictures.
Okay.
So how many Ghana Airport cargo center?
Okay. That was under construction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Enemy.
Tamale young quite.
But you know Tamale Airport for the construction center under this government. Nibu sound.
Hey. It was work on the runway.
It was a runway.
Work on the runway.
Obi. No, can do.
Oh no, specifics.
No, I can do. Nibu sound. I can do. Runway na can do. Oh, relax la. Atik. Runway expansion here na can do. Bibi ba adela exactly.
Redevelopment.
And I'm not sure some president Mills time. We call the President Mills time. You decide picture no ball. But we are not making it. We never was a check in or left now. There was some washroom on your right. Not this artistic with the picture. It was a woman in 3D form and a farm one. Everybody was using that.
And when it was put in the book to show
the project,
saying
what is going to happen at the end of the day.
The way they are about toilet. Okay.
The idea behind accounting to the people
So
was to
about
account for the
project done,
not what you intend to do.
We were doing it.
Doing what?
But I'm only about was and then this government.
no, but,
Are you doubting that
lawyer,
one?
artistic
where
improvement.
I agree with you, say you wanted to show what you were about to do with the
We have
redevelopment of
started-
if you push the narrative about we were doing it, the natural expectation is state and do with the anamo should have been the pictures and never sank babu.
Obi. Tamale Airport.
And your toilet was airport wa na ebo
And you know when I know Obi I never. Obi Jamaica in the Tamale Airport expansion. Tamale was not an equivalent of an international airport
at the time.
at the time.
Yeah.
So we needed to expand it. And expansion was going to include almost everything at the airport.
Sure.
From terminal to
Arrival hall in the park.
exactly. Okay. Nina can be as what you began that international standard no. I was open. And as at the time of the NDC, the first initial work started to do with the airport was a runway works.
Was the runway. But why didn't you show a picture of the completed runway?
They did that. So
is it in
it's
there?
completely different from the okay. Anything I make it a book is
Different
over
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, done so far. When on my
This was the runway, I know my
but
head.
where am I the car on swear?
And I'm telling you that the work was it's a 1,000 people like I said and Gary.
So this was a
So-
intentions.
Some
Intentions and some
but
completed
to be
work.
fair to them,
No, I'm just
if they tell you say they are redeveloping the Tamale airport, now almost show picture of they doing the runway. It's not wrong. Some was okay. We've done the runway, but we are saying that it don't look like that. It's
Yeah,
not-
but you say you can. Obi, the same thing was done for even Pokwa's intelligence.
yes.
Our commission, your friend is saying, circle Diano. That night in our commission will show 3D view of how the Pokwasi one will be over there.
But no, you're 40. No, 3
yeah, 3 tier, and then with traffic systems.
Yeah.
And now we want to convert the traffic system rather than
And buy another tier.
Exactly. And no, show you. It's like our travel people now, and come on that 3 tier with the traffic system. Show 3 in it now. And so can say a wrong so, but now there city here. Say it about will be your question there. The first thing any builder of any house or whatever sees is what?
special drawing.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean you own a house.
I'm not. But it's the first telling that he wants
Only
it.
the kind of drawings are man for or move phones. So.
But do you also agree, sir? This book, for what it was worth at the time, any narrative mupushi around this book was expected to contain completed projects. But do you agree?
Everything in the book was supposed to be completed.
But that was what this
Projects
book was
either
supposed to
ongoing
do.
or done.
No. Any sanity. And the man woman no do one a be your ongoing. So some of the hospital facilities
Were ongoing.
Na your ongoing. For instance, for example, military hospital, but now we pictures na be completed. Ongoing. We be quite there. Na completed na ongoing, but I'm just idea bia na won bia na ye de to bia na ye man ye wi be tell say enuma ya so far nyina
Okay.
ano obi a publish of Jesse na ya tell and sika ya kwaji ye de be adwuma de tell say adwuma no say de be wi a we say ndenye
Lord, and my final question is for Sikane Ade Aba Aban we in since 2017. They've developed a tracker to tell the Ghanaian people say 13,000 plus project when you this can are you satisfied?
I am extremely woeful and so ni ba say
Project away hun and match sika bomb.
Obi hwesika o maje abai when you sika chamban bia in the issue.
Okay.
When you sika chamban bia in the issue of Ghana, bond marketing kwa under the tenure $11 billion and omaje. Just one market. $11 billion and yeah, per 3 billion. I spend it in chunks of the cancer. The tranches, sorry, thank you. Yama 360 about something. But meanwhile, the entire year of 2019, 2020, 2021, each year you need $3 billion from the bond market each year.
Very well.
And two years ago, man, and
13,000
projects. 1 year in the year because the cabo when champion man beara.
Medase. Now, sir, Namu project and I will agree, do 13,000. And unable.
Oh, na send ya me o be trans kan ma body and make can come and I want you got to go na no akwada ho.
Oh no, I just wanted to say yeah comparison.
And I will na da o dey me be ma tia sense sika abom nsem no.
They could have done
ma waye no
very well. Me that say I take my minti.
Na so pepe zengo mi.
Me that say wa hwewe.
As be say.
Need kan
44.
Me I think say yen omanfo we deserve to know what government is doing with our taxes and all other revenues are ever amazing. We deserve to know.
Asempa FM.
You see, it is because we want to find out whether our buying investments are cost effective. Sikana omuinyano ene juma omudi aye no ekoye. Na media sa track I think so much more needs to be done on this. The idea is excellent, it's laudable, and I'm particularly excited about it because of the digital implications. As Ubia who advocates environmental sustainability, I think that idea we need to begin shifting towards more digital information sharing. The printing of Adiwe in the first place says Sika is not environmentally friendly and so on. Until that shift for me is good. And it's easier for you to track anywhere you are. Maybe you will be but like I said, much more needs to be done. Essence it's not just enough to just have pictures and claim okay, these are projects. And so we need to know the cost of each project. We need to know the beginning of each project. What is the proposed completion time? So we are able to track is for us to be able to follow progress of work. What was here? And on this occasion, my main get from Fuabaso. Okay. They are working on something spectacular. As I say, you can sit in your house and know at any particular point in time, in real time, the nature of work, the cost of the project, baby drew, and so on and so forth.
With get from projects.
Okay. And a similar thinking should inform this type of tracker. So that me baby me share me district, I want to find out what are the projects that are ongoing in my district. I should be able to follow. Now me can say, project we sika say na e cost yen. You starting the say and the say na. That is how you allow us to follow and track the progress of projects. And we can hold you accountable. And if this is done in the spirit of transparency and accountability to the Ghanaian people, it needs to be a comprehensive project. So that and wherever I am in the world, I can access the nature of projects, the extent of work done, and so on and so forth, and the cost in particular. But see, the OBD pictures are betuho, and some of them are even being contested. And if you look at the state of it, some of them really are not projects you should be proud to include in any performance tracker. But like it's been said some of the entries were wrong. So let's even grant that the entries were wrong. Stadium it featured in our budget statement. And to the extent that you consider it a wrong entry means and if you look at how dilapidated the stadium is, let's just say Sikebi Komu, and now we've allowed it to rot. Who is taking responsibility for that? Yesika na ashisa no. So it should not be a wrong entry. We should not be including Sabi Niyaye ni ye nkwao. Niyaye ni ye nukrano should even be included. So I do not accept the excuse those ones, for example the stadium. Maybe others really don't deserve to be included. But the stadium, it ought to be included. The state of work. And Niyaye ni ye nkwane said the kan and it is fair. You don't expect government to be able to do it. But let me be some questions. Who was responsible for this project? Eban is saying, is it a second short here? The NMR is second short here. Because projects one sign a award contract, you need to have a fair idea of the funding source. And whether to me AVSR project. No. So Sikana buyer, Sikana ban, sign a Sikana Intiman who diverted the money. And Sikana Ambasua, why did you not come? What can we do to get the rest of the money? These are things we need to include so that Ghana Phobia may be said these questions and together we can find solutions. And to me, the stadium cannot be a wrong entry. It is a good entry, just that ye and we can begin to ask the right questions. But again, I've been thinking about how we run local governance in this country. Ghana's model, there are different types of decentralization. You choose which one fits
you. Yeah.
You have the concentration, you have delegation, and then you have devolution. Ghana, we've decided,
devolution.
Yes. So we are devolving not only responsibilities but resources.
Yes.
Now, and let me dream what happens in the UK. A man for a council tax.
Yeah.
And the council is able to do construction of roads, take away your garbage and the rest of it. What stops us? Instead of centralizing the award of road contracts, what stops us from saying, districts? The ministry may set up specialized offices in the various district assemblies. And Omojumani said they are going to be implementing the construction of roads at the local level. So the Ministry of Roads and Highways and the district normal decided, okay, we are awarding this contract this year. So the ministry is overwhelmed. And almost at the end of the day, the little they are able to do is what they do. But if you say district assemblies, you say district assemblies don't have the power to construct roads. Why don't we, since we are practicing devolution, devolve the responsibility of constructing roads and give them the money? And also even encourage them to have innovative ways of also raising monies other than the central government to engage in road construction, because they know the district better than who are minister Uti Accra. It becomes easy. Look, Missy Debia Meka Niema Bruchi AF green grass now coin. Of course. We have better architectural designs more than they. But Nientia would draw Bruchi of Fennes,
especially in the UK. In the US, debatable.
No, even US cry.
But US are done.
Well, and then in your complex, there's an apartment complex almost in
your dining Dawson.
Exactly. And the designs no soon share who's what must
here has a point. ABR. Maybe I also want point here.
No, sir, I want to see
major cities in
there.
The cities in there.
No,
but in the suburbs, no.
Exactly.
And the landscaping.
And the money and the money. But California, the amount for CC mansions 3 million, 4 million. Obama, and but Ghana, everywhere you go, even in Krasimpo, Obi person sit down for fair face home. What's that here?
Yeah.
But the home no more in the one townhouses news are massa. Just normal.
West.
But
Ochame Kwame Kansembi, I forgot. The entire interview, and anybody who has time should find the entire interview of Chairman.
Okay.
The question came up about development. That's more kind of say, what's modernity? Is modernity skyscrapers? And I say, modernity is one kasa who innovative designs in your own way.
Yeah.
To suit your way of
environment,
life. So, to Atik's point, we may not necessarily need skyscrapers to say it's a Ghana effect.
But we need good roads,
and once you have the
proper landscape,
all of that, that's it.
And what is it? No, well, but yeah, fantasy. What is it? So my issue is
the real place the airport hills.
Airport is now what we
now Kumasi new place now no
na me get dem say father so esro ho no okay
top hill and
top hilltop
and Tasman so ba
Tamale so hilltop
oh okay
Tamale hilltop but the point I'm making is that if we give them these responsibilities,
yes,
they know the locality. It's easy for them to do road construction. No matter the year, look, who we now Ghana,
yeah.
Call.
Accra is better. Kumasi is terrible. We now here Kumasi.
Accra is better when you are getting closer to East Legon.
Oh yeah.
But if we know why, Poor.
Yeah.
So now you the light to run from.
Yeah.
So my point is that when you know key, it should have been the assemblies compiling these projects to feed into this tracker, so that, like I was saying, tracker will be district specific. And to Upa, you go to say Eastman Prissy. Me person me who projects I call so because Eastman Prissy na me click here. Projects in ewo honum no beba.
But that is what it is.
No, me ba. Ebeba. And I can tell in real time, those that are still under construction, maybe say no me drew pictures are ewo honey. If there's an improvement, they update it.
Okay.
What must then they know. But say see and one say obi check picture be not or the abe or the abeto. Only God knows, maybe after 2 months, 3 months, there has been an improvement. Track and is it going picture that no na
yeah, they say they will do daily updates.
Daily.
Yeah, when there are new projects, they would update.
Not new project means adding new ones.
Sure.
I'm talking about near was
okay.
What is the state of it?
Okay.
Get farm for the in real time.
Okay.
And there were who say and no the cost of each project.
Is indicated.
And so if you are telling us to track your performance should not be assessed in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Project no now it is no cost you're saying. We can even tell whether that project was cost effective.
Yeah.
So you just come and put a picture and say so near how would I know it's cost effective? Because accountability is not just about the project, but how cost effective is that project? If it does an improvement, I would like those who came up with this brilliant idea to add to it. To add.
Fortunately, get fund ahead that you
yeah, so it's just something they can,
you can look at it and
the administrator is one awesome man they can reach out to. And nuna ebema ni yepese yi ebe shemukina, and subsequent governments can adopt it so that it becomes like the yardstick. Wow, we see okay, my year BBC and BBC. There is a tracker that me amiti Gamagano, I can look for it even if it is in Western region. Now I'll be able to tell that Abanka say why your project say na cost here and as of today say net here. Okay. What is here? Okay. In 3 months time I can come back.
Stadium the ana me
no, they ought to have included it. So now, that if
Green Book now project cost can
there be
no.
But that's what I'm saying. We need to move beyond. Oh, and
I mean you're right.
They started with this. Government who feels we should not just print this. Let's have a tracker that is digital.
So there should have been
an improvement.
Yeah.
What was it? So that at every point in time you can tell. Oh, so project is 50% complete today now. In 3 months' time, you can come back and check.
Yeah.
What is the progress of work? Now, you can say that ejumani koso. If something is not being done, you can alert authorities. Say, ejumani for 3 months.
By the way, Ken was
that is how
2000,
yes,
2022, and still 1920.
That's how you enable people to track government's performance. Draw authorities' attention. And to the BR, until Namika about devolution. Minister now take crown. All over commission project now. Unkrofo is almost just Asaun. Until if something is not being done, you can draw the minister's attention and whichever authority's attention to the fact that Ejumana Obe Commission Ukache and said this is how much it's going to cost, and that the proposed completion date ASA. In fact, after 3 months, then the minister would be alerted and prompted, and whichever authority no I can say no. Mo amushe ejuma so ban say na 3 months enye hwe embe kan ho na yen hu hwe ya ese kan. This is really the kind of conversation we need to have. I think the idea is brilliant, but a lot more work needs to be done to make this fit for purpose. Now, like I was saying, they need to include cost, real time, monitor, and they need to update progress as routinely as they ought to do. Now, at the end of the day, me nyina ebetimi aka say aban sika aban ejini djuma oye no djuma ebeboa ye. And like I said
on Infantipim there, I don't know how true this is, but one of our listeners says Obi the mobile Infantipim AstroTurf was heavily supported by the Ghana National Gas Company.
Okay, then that makes it a government project.
Concerned.
But that's another issue. Even though Gambaga me per se the AstroTurf ni because, but I have issues with AstroTurfs. They have shorter lifespans. When if you were to do green grass, it is cheaper, it is sustainable, and it serves a lot more other purposes.
Sustainability, I'm not too sure.
You need water to just keep it. You can say to keep it green.
Now can green grass and once and green grass.
Green grass. So you need just water.
After make I say me bra fie nchen wo.
No, you see.
No, me ba.
Okay, me too.
Ewo esuye bo Kumasi. Last year, mostly at December, me kwa ne ho fie. Last year me kwa park bi wo omu fie ne green.
Yeah.
We are not through the instrumentality of the MP.
Okay,
Professor
Nyako.
Okay. Oh, my green grass now water so green neat. Yeah. Last 3 weeks. Me domini on my hiniku Kumasi na me call. Maza, I said No,
that's maintenance.
Bare ground.
No. So that is maintenance. So my suggestion is we green field in green grass. Bula, how much does it cost to
drill a borehole?
How much? Then you employ. You see, just like we are doing with AstroTurf, a man for to go and play. No, it's just like an AstroTurf, just like it is more sustainable and the field grass. What is it? Run it like you do with AstroTurf. Mudian say you keep maintain the grass.
Okay.
Niobe more grass, niobe water grass, and no panana you just.
If you build the same infrastructure, the difference will be the grass.
Exactly, because it's cheaper and it's more sustainable. What you must say? AstroTurf do my 7. Must end 5 years. Who could share because it has a shorter lifespan and it's more expensive. Until I have difficulty with government investing a lot more money, even though I'm Gamaga for Nyebi, because there's issue between Hamaga and Larigo Nyebi, they are hard. But I feel that if government were to invest in grass fields now, and will be more sustainable, and they can do a lot more. Uko Siniga, I am an advocate also of about devolution. Empower the district assemblies. Look, every district in this country. It's a policy suggestion I made to a particular political party. Say they should have it in their manifesto. Say one district, one park. Every district, they should have a public park. Uko Senegal, they have those parks, and the parks come with gyms, open gyms. Who point Juma out in for year exercise, sit, have a good view. Now I coffee. So wellness and fitness in Sanumano, you can have a nice park, green grass. Yao. Uko broche parks and your green grass now. You just need to have a field. Now what grassy now what the grass now better so when your seats to be there too, then you attach an open gym. And every district we can do these things at cheaper cost.
Very well.
And you know the citizens would benefit.
I think me that say Ekosiisen so higher Sempa FM Kofi Tonto will talk. We say Obi, I would always go for natural grass. If the AstroTurf is not a hybrid one, forget it. In the honest, he would go for natural grass.
Yes,
because AstroTurf, the AstroTurf should be a hybrid one. And yes, I forget this is no Drew Safo. He sits on the FA Executive Council.
Yeah. Or see, there's one built by the Suhum MP. Says Or see, the grass is natural and it's way better than the AstroTurf. Suhum. It's the way to go.
Okay, Metie Kofi, I'll listen to you after this 2 minutes break. Here, but it's Ekosiisen Montreal.
Ghana Fui Franco. Esa the electrical appliances for Frabejaswo. Washing machines, Asian women yopo, CCTV cameras, and need all clear. I be you know that. Seba mobile phones, this are iPhones, Infinix, Nokia, Samsung, any the home, anyone says you see na Franco. In our binya the papa, ne water phone say Tim Franco air conditioners, every 1.5, adequacy 2.5 horsepower, Samsung Franco TV, every 32, adequacy 85 inches. Franco, SSO tabletop. Double decker, any chest freezers, and chain in a mahoden cry. She shall Franco Quabata be a benwo. Name of head office, a wada braka, one in Roxy Cinema in the Enemy. Friend 0246 422 338 in a 055 5939 311. Franco Electrical Appliances Papa.
Across Africa, a new era has begun. Shifting our focus to a new horizon, connecting us with one purpose: to create and share opportunities to grow. across our continent, across the world. We are creating a better way to a better future. A Pan-African future. Together. EcoBank. A better way. A better.
Constituency watch your first from Kwa. And what's some perfect radio to make Ekosiisen so. Now, free election yet, you know, yet in Bell constituency sense. And when you force what is away in now, I'm on your pocket same you. I am this MPP. One now will see for what's up so about Yase. Sanson of political parties, the movement, I can't submit anti-parliamentary candidates, regional and constituency party executives, sitting MMDCs, no more Kaka Winaba Baby, Upenya Quenya beside Yatawakuma Subia face to face. Your Bethany parties now have a constituency no near Eha constituency in Sebeka Wasam. Naya Fifi parties the manifestos no Ashe Wakudwa. One says some Peshiano so Ashes are Kosisay or Swanemo Asona from Tia Senabaya Behuda Yaba Peshiaso. Now what's here? As a perfect constituency watch and Basu Fia Debia 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yes, see a Bekoba 50 constituencies and Sana Fia Batona Biso. As a perfect constituency watch.
Anytime I feel lonely, feeling sad, only one station makes me happy. When I wake up in the morning, only this station makes my day. Oh, Asempa FM. Asempa FM. Oh, Asempa FM. Asempa FM.
94.7 Asempa FM. So ni Ekosiisen dwumedi no asogo so a utie no ma se ne ensan so emama kwa babio Kofi Tonto ewa ha Tik Mohammed and a lawyer Chumbere mamedin dio saibo nso Kofi ma yentio performance tracker matters arising.
What we made us you see aban way aye niema bibra. I think say Bravo Kasam ye can be say posterity dachi ebeyin kunimdie ama Akufo-Addo ne era Mahmoud Bawumia aban obi ejitum se ene sebe sikasem hawo ne ade kakra ewo ho nenso aban we aye niema bi a ebeye fapem ama man we ne nkoso si ye Ghana for no beto da bi a sa na esi ehwade yen hwe no fapem yo a eye ene die betimi aya to aso so kenkan ye a your friend is saying your national we say no
is it the anthem na and I say general assassin okay oka abakosem ayi futusem wom say ye na obi nso meden emeto aso aban we ya niema bebrea abeye fapem a aban bia betimi abeden abeto aso me makase one of the biggest achievements of this government enye free SHS so busamia Ghana card free SHS is excellent. It is one of the top achievements. But say me me Ghana card. If we say fapimwa edi be ma of mining cost no baby a pese dru no yetimi adru no, it will shock the world. Education equally is a foundation and also be peja o mine. But naturally no adia na edi o mine nya pa ye the fact say ye ni any form of identification and until them may consider and no as one of the pivotal things I heard because for abaya ba besna ko nyina na ya try na ntimi nya den enye adentina make away nyina
fapem ni bi na yaye no, which is the performance tracker. Na me ne atik be ya adwene se baby a yaye adru no yen to aso. If you say nei ebedru baby a we minister now to officer enya sebe Akufo-Addo ana president ena de letter be bro say ana bra cabinet be ka kire me de waye o ebedru baby no there will be a public placer by who KPIs are what signing no who performance nyina say what's our public platform ne so enti so be sorry no person ohu ade a ekoso wo GMPC a eno aso akosa public platform ne so na wabo GMPC the so ohu bia no be den obehu tin say you are bringing governance to the people. Enti weye fapem sronko a ehse ye gitum ne ebohu ban ne ehyem kena na de ma fapem we no eye fapem a ehu hia pa ne say it's a living document. Eye fapem atiase emu echina foforo betimi abeyeden abeka ho constantly updating, growing, improving, bettering. For me, this is one of the best things about we are here. Say it comes to transparency and accountability to the people. So can kind of mind no. Ya mamra na e show man panyi kete say afibia ko Ghana mra hye bedwam na fa wano disem to dwa de wodi Ghana sika any a japade a yede share won sa no de wodi aye na meboa eno ne friend State of the Nations address. So State of the Nations address no oman panyin timi nkruchire ni nyina ngu nkrata so emekenkan. In fact tofa no kra wo bo no to da bi ha 4 hours no gira ne nine so eno ye tofa but tofa ni nye enough. If we say you see account for what you have used our resources for. And it sabe would the BC one school one classroom block okrana you must what account for it. And tibinia loyalty was say we project na near 13,000 no and yeah no na resource envelope na nya no ye de. But minya sa wokoho ne e ka Ghana card a a physical thing ana meboa. You cannot count Ghana card as a physical thing. No investment akomu wo Ghana card. You can free SHS. You cannot count it per se. But no investment ayeden akom. In terms of sika ya de bo mo ho bra. The this is school. The day boy teacher for any nay the SBK home laptops in this hand money nyina. Obi for me abaya ye dwuma so a ese ebo mabaso. Of course, if you are accounting for something at different levels, because Obi you are counting at community level, district level, constituency level, regional level, and so on national level. Who we are, what be accounting agency level, ministry level, one level, and ameboa. Ninyina na wo aggregate e dia begu nsani ani se Ghana ni no susu bia no onye den o mehwe. Ye ni infrastructure. And nothing I'm starting free say, what is the foundation? I buy way now be lay the foundation. Now ko track an so a. Utimi information you know say be person who bibi wo o manso du bia na wo no. Most azumomo district in follow under then. Amansie West. To be ko betimi selected by Ashanti region. Now we choose Amansie West. Inti Amansie West no adwuma ye di wo Amansie West nyina ubehu Ebi ana wo de nya Mansia West na opese wo hwe ni mprempren a ebi ana opese wo hwe Ministry of Education aban ne ba e de no waye eno nso kwa wo select ministries na wo choose Ministry of Education. Ebi ana bia wo pese wo behwe by ministries, wo pese wo hwe by categories, bia pese wo hwe sports, but you don't want to necessarily look at ebi a Ministry of Sport but just a category of sports na pese wo hwe ubetimi a select na wa hwe. And these are all the different layers are wodini nyina ebegu database mu. Now we're cleaning it up. Now what are the visuals? Now what linking in na sana?
Asempa F.
What who not said you who website so. Me I'm a data analyst by profession, so I know I've done these things, building platforms using Power BI, Tableau, etc., building SQL backgrounds and getting all of these things done. So I know the work that goes into it. The myriad of databases that you have to connect. And information is so unya no. Ebu okra na obe no, omo no fam rew electronically o. Omo de bebro paper format. Until you may have to what? Convert into a digitized format so that you can add it to the database. And some pictures so whatever, videos so whatever. It's a lot of work. And I'll go into it.
Okay.
It is about buying that basu say at least what creates our foundation. Say China buy for bar once why then what betwaso. But me ni article by Adrian say and say she said that chin ye ko ye nimu no ye betimi de akwafo for so why then abeka ho. So okay project we bia contractor we na ye we no at this cost. Afi we and was start here and afi we and we nyina beboa to help with the accountability. Atobi so be ISL Juma Sunway cleaning up. See, I can say when your final data set of 13,000, it doesn't mean that was the data set you started with. You could have started with even 1 million data set. And what cleaning and now what compile ya kike biabo mwa na wabe drew the final data setter when you know. Of course, challenges ba kumienu mi ense beba. Me obi asendi bia brem say na Kofi me ha say sa niema we maye ma fa nka ho.
Asempa
Sanso na eye no kren so obi so asendi bia brem say Kofi we die eni kwan say e wa ha. In fact, 67 challenges na aban ne kai no. Enanyi nyina mpo na eni kwan say wo mu. Ebi e wrong alignment. Ebi e say we e wo district we near akọ aligning wo district fufu.
Okay.
These are some of the challenges. Now a name who say Minianum NDC for are fishing for information. You can fish for it, but it doesn't change the fact say Abayasi 588 senior high school projects. It doesn't change that fact. You can fish for it, but it doesn't change the fact say Abayasi more than 10 STEM schools in this country. In the caliber of universities, it doesn't change that fact. You can fish for the negatives. It doesn't change the fact say Abayasi 526 basic schools in 7 years. It doesn't change that fact. 12 interchanges, Yaye drones, 307 ambulances. It doesn't change that fact. When it comes to roads, it doesn't change the fact say Akufo-Addo has done the most roads in the history of this republic. Fact. So you can look for all the things you want to look for, the negatives you want to look for. The bottom line is that me free kukufu bekwai se me call me district and nei mate se me krom me be ko ho enche nyame adom kukufu e se abegu ya kwan so nyina amai. Enti se wo mu na me check me district a me hu se empire ye kwan na se enye esuofo a bridge na da ho a nyame adom se ye wie me hu anyan kwanta kwan se wahu se omaye so hu na se me hu se one of the media houses could try almost I mean, state of the art. But I am not crying no more. Yeah, mumfa markings.
Markings then come.
Why? Yes, Remo, we are crying now. Mumfa markings.
So markings in matches.
Oh, moon that Obi Kwame Brian and I'm so. So many years later, now markings in this. I know they are there somewhere.
Very well.
But Obi,
very well.
Apart from that, about where yes some major roads are. Best on the face of Ghana. From Ofanko barrier to Nsawam, 33 kilometers, 10 lanes. 10 lanes. Yeah. Adenta to Dodowa. Yeah. Kaswa to Winneba. Yeah. Ufri Apedwa Junction, ko anim kakra. Say 4 major bypasses. Yeah. So, we are looking for a few challenges to ridicule the performance tracker. But the bottom line is Ejumano ewoho and Ghanaians are seeing it. It's a baba buying a basso no Ejumasu why the small challenges yen fix it. Na ye miemu yen fa bin so meka na the interface in terms of the user experience and so yen improve na sebe ukutawo app ukutawo internet so na obeko website and so say app the user interface no bibia anya yi perfect
very well
na yenko yanim oma badwuma so ye mo maba so no mo ntonko so no mo nye bio na yempeja oman no when it comes to accountability to the next level. How many countries now unim obi
what performance
tracker to that level, to the community level, to the district level, to the constituency level, to the regional level, and to the national level. Catch me. By way, I am manifest. Now posterity will be kind to Akufo-Addo
and political aid to the Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and I'm here no aiding komo. Ye de Jumedi no ABC Dr.